Baby, come home to me.
Just a quick note here. This key has been my go-to key for some time now. Of course, I've always got my 100th anniversary key and several others here on the operating desk, but I have really kind of some keys just have a natural feel that just you feel right at home with, and this key is one of them. It's a 1930, actually a 1940, 109. Let's see. Well, I can't see it on the screen here. 344 serial number. Lightning bug, and you can see initially I thought the finish was a kind of a crackle, but it's crazed. You can see that whatever the original finish was, you can see it in the highlight, is just cracked all to daylights. The upper parts are in pretty good shape. The weights are kind of wonky. I haven't really cleaned this key up much, but I was noticing the lever seemed like it was sitting lower, and so if you look here at the you can see that the weight you can see that the contact slide is really raised up above the lever, and something about the key just didn't look right. And then finally I saw what it was. Look at the top plate. This collar should be on top rather than below, and that is why the whole keying lever sits lower than it should, or than a normal key does. Of course, back here you've got plenty of adjustment for this, but back here you can see, well, it's a little bit lower. It's a little bit lower than a normal lightning bug might be. The key operates great, and you never know the difference. But after thinking about it, I wondered, well, how come Vibroplex didn't mount those like that anyway? Because on the bottom plate, the collar faces up, and the pressure of having these screws, it would help keep the collar in place. It would put tension on the collar both ways. I have had I bought a lightning bug, or a champion, I believe it was, and I was trying there was a lot of slop in the keying lever, and I was adjusting this top adjustment screw, the pivot adjustment, and darned if I didn't pop the collar off the top of this triangular plate. And that may be the case with this one. I haven't tried to see to take it off and reverse it. Obviously, the finish, the plating on this part of the plate isn't as nice. But if something that might be telling is if I can get it. Well, it doesn't show up real well, but you can see this front edge is a little bit bent. And I wondered if at one point, if this key didn't take a nosedive and it bent this plate and may have popped loose the collar. And the only way to keep it in place was to use the pressure of screwing it down onto the pivot, or the pivot pin, was to help hold it in place. Otherwise, you'd have to buy a whole new triangular top plate and assembly. Anyway, this key just has a very smooth feel to it. It's probably because it's so worn. But it feels like your favorite pair of weekend sneakers. It just has a really, really worn but really comfortable feel. Well, that's it for this installment from the Shack of KY4Z 7.3, and have a great day.
Ah!